Welcome everybody to Command Combat Battle Reports. Today we have Empire Total War, and we have the Austrians versus the Maratha Confederacy, which are out of India. So let's take a look at these forces. It looks like they're kind of already in motion. On the Austrian side, you have 6-pounder horse artillery. It looks like they're already getting up on that hill, which is a good place to be for artillery, because you are looking out down on all of that, all the Maratha Confederacy down there. You also have the 24-pounder foot artillery, which looks like they're in the same, going in the same direction. The Windbush Jaegers, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing any of this, put the comments in the www.jeffdon'tcare.com website. You got over here their leader, it looks like. I like how they make it clear on all of these. Alright, then they have, looks like their infantry, the line infantry backed up by their guards. That is their whole infantry contingent set up right there. Behind them they have the Uhlans, the general's bodyguard next to them, light dragoons protecting 6-inch mortars on this little hillock here, getting ready to fire down. And I mean, they have just such perfect positioning right here, looking right down on them. It's going to be the Maratha Confederacy to win this, but you know, sometimes it doesn't always work out for those defenders. All right, then the light dragoons over here facing off against their enemy. All right, over on this side we've got Bargear Lancers. That's their Lancers there. All of them all along here. More of the Bargear Lancers. There's, looks like probably the leader. Oh, wait a minute. Pendari Horsemen. Sorry, I think I said that there were more of those, the same. And then Sipahis. So there's a lot more of these types of guys than I was thinking. And, yeah, okay, so there's all their cavalry, and now we're getting into their elephant musketeers. And an 18-pounder foot artillery. Now, these guys are kind of known for some big guns. I think this sort of region of the world was very much into horses and big guns. And actually, it's kind of an interesting combination, the slow and the fast. And then you got your infantry here. You can definitely tell you have your commanders right there in the center. They very much stand out. And with the sick musketeers, well, if they're so sick, why didn't they stay home? Alright, and alright, all along here. I should probably Sikh Musketeers is probably how you pronounce it. Again, say in the comments. Hindu Musketeers. Setting up all along there. And the Sikh Musketeers. And Hindu Musketeers. So it's sort of scattered between them. And more Hindu warriors way over here. Actually, Hindu warriors as opposed to musketeers. You have the warriors who are all swordsmen. And usually, a good idea is to put these swordsmen behind the musketeers, that way if it turns into a brawl they come in. But here they are next to each other. Sikh warriors, large mortars in back there, and then Sipahis, Bargear Lancers, so more cavalry. So you have the cavalry on the sides, and then artillery is all placed together, and a lot of infantry all along there, with the general's bodyguard on one of the elephants. And let's see if we can figure out which one is the general. The one in yellow, and everybody else is dressed exactly the same. Well, I don't think I can figure out who the general is, so let's go ahead and see how this battle progresses. Let's get up on the top of this hill here, so we can watch the battle progress. Oops, I just went into fast motion. Alright, there we go. And of course the horse artillery is getting into place, so you can look down on them, and it looked like the Maratha Confederacy is realizing what a precarious situation they're in, so they are maneuvering further away, and the mortars come just short of them. Well, actually it's hitting amongst where their artillery is, and their artillery is now going to get set up and probably fire up at those I almost said Skaven. I have been doing too much Warhammer. At the Austrians. So what does that say about the Austrians that I'm calling them Skaven, the giant rats? Alright. Now it looks like they're going to set up their Jaegers up on this hill. So they're going to have riflemen and muskets all up here. So let's see how they do on firing. We can get a really good look at them from this angle. Can't quite tell because they're firing over that tree line, and it's firing, or it's landing beyond the tree line. So not going to really know how they're doing. Oh, and now you can see there are shots flying up into the air. That's from the mortars. And here comes the rest of the artillery getting into place. These are the big guns, the 24-pounder artillery. And the infantry is slowly getting into place, marching up here to, it looks like they're going to probably try to take that hill and defend that hill. I mean, again, it's a very, ooh, there's that 24-pounder artillery coming down. It is a very formidable position, but sometimes when you get too comfortable in one location, your enemy can take the initiative and can do a lot with that initiative. Alright, so now we're going to have an artillery duel. This is going to go, it's going to be less advantageous to those at the bottom of the hill, but they, you know, don't really have much of a choice of where they start, so... And then they're bringing their elephant artillery behind the trees to make it harder to hit them. And as you saw earlier, oh, there's one of the horses and caissons has gone down, so it's a little bit of their ammo. But all their cannons are still up. Ooh, oh, there's a guy who didn't expect to get hurt because he was on the horse, and the horse isn't one of the cannons itself. And they're kind of set up poorly here because they're, you know, all sort of in a row facing up like that. Meanwhile, the elephants have the right idea. Slowly make their way up towards them, but through these woods. Yeah, gonna slowly make their way up there as if the Austrians don't see them, and now they're gonna actually send their Jaegers down into here. I don't know if they know exactly that the elephant riders are down there, and now the elephant riders are pulling out of there because they know that they're gonna get hit with those. And it's kind of hard to trample inside the woods. And some firing back at them. So it is mostly just kind of an artillery duel going back and forth at this point, although you are getting some of these elephants hit in the back. Oh, that is just sad to see, because they did come around, you know, they did expose themselves just beyond the tree line there. So, and they're probably not doing a very wise thing, because right now they're protected just behind the woods, but the further back, and I know they want to get away from the enemy, but the further back they go, the more likely they are to be in range of artillery. However, then again, I guess the Jaegers are moving in on them. Yeah, there's the whole thing, is they're moving slowly but surely forward towards those elephants. And more of that fire has been pretty devastating. You know what, these Marathas really have to just come up with a plan at this point. They can't just trade shots, because the Austrians will just simply keep beating them in terms of straight on trading off shots. It's already happening. The Maratha are taking more casualties. Now, of course, this is going to be effective. Around here, the Jaegers have been taking down some of the horsemen, but over here, they're bringing in some horsemen to take on the Jaegers, and luckily for the Austrians, they saw it just in time. They're pulling them back, although actually it might not be in time. I mean, it's sort of a race for that cavalry to get to them. If they can get to them, those skirmishers are going to be, they're going to be killed off by that cavalry, and sure enough, they've caught up with them. Lancers are usually some of the greatest shock cavalry, because they come forward and just skewer you. Now the Lancers are coming back at them, but nobody's coming to support them, so they are on their own against that cavalry. Meanwhile, something is going on over here. Looks like the Maratha Confederacy is making a move, but along the wide flank of the Austrians. Looks like their infantry is also in motion to sort of figure out something to do here to crack that nut. Over here, the Austrians have been using their resources to fight against these this cavalry, and it has paid off. So, the Austrians win those woods, then the Maratha Confederacy marches forward across the field. And their general has just been killed. Here comes their cavalry running across the field here. Let's get a little bigger. Oh, no, okay. I was thinking we could make the map a bit bigger. And now they're going to send some of their cavalry forward to engage with the Austrian cavalry. Yeah, these are light dragoons. Light dragoons are going to fight with both swords and muskets, and that is going to scare away the Bargare Lancers. And it looks like the Maratha Confederacy has spent a lot of resources fighting whatever it is down in this area. So they're not as well combined, but they are taking out this this contingent of the Austrians. Then the defense of the hill is well underway. Well, no, not well underway. It looks like it's not even quite begun yet. Over here, this is why I was thinking that, is you do have them marching up this side of the hill. In fact, it looks like they have cleared out enough of the rest of the battlefield that now those on the hill who were expecting to, the Austrians on the hill that were expecting to defend against this direction, now is having to deal with all of those directions. And now, as they come up here, they're just getting slaughtered left and right by artillery bearing down on them. Look at that. That would not be a sight you'd want to see, having to climb that hill at that artillery. However, if they can get to that artillery, well, they're still going to have to deal with a lot of infantry that's up there. But they are taking their risk. They're taking their chances. They've been ordered. And over here, the Austrians are a little bit more outnumbered. I mean, they're bringing forces forward as much as they can. However, there are a lot of the Maratha Confederacy out there, and they're moving up here, taking out some of the sorry. I'm trying to find what the Austrian one is. Oh, there was the mortar battery. Alright, so they've finished them off. And now, coming up here in motion, the Austrians did not get a square formed. They're now doing it, but it's too little, too late. That Maratha cavalry has taken them down, and then the rest of them are getting into squares. So they're going to protect that flank. And looks like their fire has prevented them. Has prevented the Maratha Confederacy. The frontal assault is being broken apart from all of the angles. Now for their side sweep, it looks like the boxes have finally started doing their doing what they need to do, serving their purpose. They've kept the charge from coming in, and now they are reinforcing and going against the last bastion of hope for the Maratha Confederacy. They're going to charge up into here. That's the thing, is once you have the advantage, you just gotta take it and not let go. So now the Maratha Confederacy numbers are going to come in toll, and you have groups like the Hindu warriors who do not have guns, but in close combat situations, they're going to do pretty darn well. And the battle looks like it's mostly coming down to that one part, because over here it looks more like they're garrisoning, against a possible push, which would be right over here. Let's take a look at them. You guys up to no good? No. You gonna come and attack the Austrians? Maybe. Alright, you heard it here first, folks. A bunch of computer-generated characters are talking. Alright, so the Austrians have pretty much got themselves set up on the hill there, with the forces here just basically firing at whoever they see, getting rid of them, saying, "We don't want you, I don't know why you're here with your cake, let's make you eat it too." And that is really it with all that they have. Looks like the last one is starting to rout, or starting to go shaken. So let's take one last. Oh, okay. There's a few others here. We'll wait and see about any of these, if they can turn it all around. And now the Austrians look like they've kind of gotten sick of waiting for this, so they're pushing some of their infantry forces forward. Getting into place, deciding whether or not they want to do this. Yeah, sure they do. Oh, one guy got killed, another guy got killed. And I'm not sure what they're waiting for. And, oh, there was a little bit of firing. And their volley finally scared away the remaining Maratha Confederacy on that flank. You still have these units that were closer to the center. And there they go, climbing that hill. But of course, once they fight, by the time they finally climb to the top of that hill, they're just too exhausted even to fight, I'd assume, rather than, you know, let alone win. But this really comes down to, I mean, just them and one other group, and so we'll see in a minute what happens with them. Let's follow these guys, see if they can even make it to the top. Oh, and that did it in. You have a few of the Maratha coming back around trying to get up there, but not enough, and especially because the Austrians are now pulling around to hit them on the side, and they feel it, they sense it, they know that somebody's coming around. They're getting shaken. They're all getting shaken. At this point, it looks like the Austrians pretty much protected that hill. You do see some Hindu musketeers trying to resolve this situation, and once again, down there, the Maratha Confederacy, the Sikh musketmen have regrouped inside that hill, but with all of these Austrians still intact, and some of them having not even really fought yet, it's a pretty safe bet that they're not going to be able to take it. So I'm actually going to call it at this point a victory for the Austrians. Yay! We hope you're all enjoying these videos, and we're somewhere near as much as we're enjoying making them. If you'd like to see more of them, be sure to subscribe to get a sense of more of these crazy videos. Oh, there's some firing coming from a long distance. I think this is going to take a long time for the Austrians to sweep them up. But anyway, thanks for watching, and happy gaming, everybody.